All right, you've learned the purebreds. Now it's time for the slashies. Okay, we got familiar with that D, of course. Familiar with this F sharp. Two chords that are related in the key of D. Your F sharp is your 3-note. Okay, and so they're closely associated with each other. And because it has the F sharp in the bass, it's called a D over F sharp. And so it's basically telling you that this is your root note, is your bass note, and then the whole rest of the chord is present. The D chord is basically all there, but with an F sharp in the bass. So hence the slash tells you that the F is played as a bass note of the D. All right. Similarly, you can do a C over G. So it's every bit of the identity of a C chord, but now I have in the bass G. When it comes to that, in terms of the C scale, C, D, E, F, G. So that's the 5th note. Just kind of echoing, setting the foundation for that chord in that lowest bass note, okay? But it's still basically a C. How about E over B? Different effect with that bass note playing off kind of counterpoint to the chord that's above it. In the case of this, it kind of makes a nice leading tone to the G. It is in the key of A. F sharp is there as its relative minor. So that's kind of an important chord there. In the key of A Mixolydian, which we can talk about another time, it's also there where it occupies the Phrygian mode there for that. So there's different reasons, I guess, rationales as to why all this works. If you look in the key of G, that F sharp is there, but usually it's there in the form of a diminished chord. There it is, a half diminished, or as a fully diminished. Okay, so there's linkage between all these chords. All right, so that there's close associations there. What makes it sort of even more fitting for the key of G to use that is because it takes D, which is your 5 chord, and it takes just the root of an F sharp, and so it doesn't offend the ear at all, even though that's not the exact representation of a F sharp or what we'd expect to see there. So it's leaning into all those keys and links them together. For those reasons, I think it appears very frequently in the key of D or G or A. Put the examples at the end here. Goes. So there's one. What's another example? Say goodbye, don't follow. How about banjo. Now, normally this song would be in the key of A. Okay, and so you end up with a couple of interesting slashies in there. You end up with this C over G, and you also have in that initial walk down D over F sharp in the same song. So 2 slashies for the price of 1. What's another one? You know, it's, again, similar, very similar chords we talked about once before. The song Patience and breakdown. All right, so check out the over F sharp. You're probably playing it already and not knowing it, or maybe haven't tried it yet and don't know what you're missing. So try and incorporate that in. Again, I never mentioned how to play it. Basically play a D, and then you're going to replace. So you're going to try and be ergonomic here, like with a lot of our chord changes. Start off with the D shape. Okay, and now the middle is going to replace where your pointer is. So it's going to go grab that, and then the pointer goes and lands up on that bass note. The A, while it is not uninvited, is going to be deadened here, which is fine because then it just doesn't confuse. An extra ringing A might add more information in the bass than you really want. Doesn't hurt anything. I would say just play it like a normal D, and then boom, that's your move. So the ring stays pinned the whole time on this D note. That's your identifier on the B string. What was an F sharp there gets kind of skipped, but then you keep the A note there, and that's why the open A is really not necessary, nor is the F sharp on the high E string there. So you can kind of pop out of place and then make other chord changes as needed. All right, so play around with that. Look for other places where you got slashies happening. Very common, you know. All right, you got the weighting in there. So there's a lot of interesting, cool tunes.